with carrot, celery, and onion. Now we are ready for our next phase, which will be stock. Oh, screwed up there.
2, 1, go ahead.
All right, guys, welcome back. So now, start over. I totally blanked out.
Go with the celery in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead with the celery.
So now we're gonna do the same thing, but with celery. As you notice, the celery is an awkward shape. It is not at all circular.
Oh wait, stop.
Okay. Now we have here dice. I have my carrot, my celery, my onion.
Stop. We're gonna do it again.
You can cut that if you want. I'm done.
Okay. Here, and in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the brand new series that Hansen International Academy has produced for you. Now, what is this series about? Well, as you know, we are not in a kitchen anymore, so I have brought the kitchen to the classroom. This is what we're gonna do. This series is all about the basic techniques. We're gonna go from today, we're gonna learn about the basic techniques, different cuts, and throughout the series, we're gonna learn about soups, we're gonna learn about sauces, we're gonna get some chicken, we get some sauce, drizzle all upon that. It's exciting, let me tell you, I'm excited. Are you ready? All right, let us begin. So, first lesson. Knife skills, but we're gonna work with the 3 vegetables of the Holy Trinity, which is called the Mirepoix. M-I-R-E-P-O-I-X. The X silent. Remember, a lot of French terminology. It's going to be Mirepoix. Can you say it? Mirepoix. Say it. I don't see you. All right, good, excellent. So, what is the Mirepoix? 3 vegetables. We have the carrot, so sweet, beta carotene, very juicy. Then we have on the other side of the spectrum, we have the onion. From the onion, we have in the middle, the celery. Boring, but very, very important because they will absorb all the flavor from the sweetness to the acidic in the holy matrimony of all the 3 vegetables. So, are you ready? Let us begin. We're going to start off with the carrot first, like I said. Well, as you know, carrots are round, and of course, they're different in shape. Like this one, for example. This one looks like it's a male carrot. All right, but we're going to do what's called squaring off the vegetable. We take notice this knife? What is this knife called again? That's right. This is a vegetable knife because of the air pockets on either side. But we learned that already 2 weeks ago. Excellent. So, we're going to cut the carrot, but we are not going to peel it. Sorry, we're not going to wash it. Reason being is because we're going to peel it. Turn it over. Now, if you could believe this, I try to go really slow. I did. If I take another carrot, you'll see, with experience, how fast you can peel and cut carrots. Ready? Here we go. Done. See that? Fast. But that also comes with experience, right? So, nice and slow. I'll be showing you the basic knife techniques so that way that you don't cut yourself. Let us begin. Knife. 3 fingers. The knife always touches the first knuckle of the middle finger, like this, right? Don't put the middle finger, you might get in trouble. So we're going to start off with squaring off the vegetable. We're going to cut it down the middle because the vegetable is too long. Sometimes size does matter, so it's too long, right? So notice it's circular. So what we're going to do is we're going to square it off. We're going to make 4 sides. And we're going to save that. Now that we have squared off the carrot, so you see it's squared off. So now we're going to cut what is called the large dice. As you can see, they're like dice. There we go. Awesome. They work. Large dice. Now we're going to work with the medium dice. Same carrot, we're going to cut it in half. One portion, half, we'll use it for something else. Now we're going to quarter that, and we're going to create medium dice. Medium dice. As you can see, visually, we're getting smaller and smaller. Now I'm going to create this into small dice. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing, only this time I'm going to, again, cut it in half, quarter it, look at that. And that is small, as you can see. Now here's the exciting part. This is where true knife skills mastery come into play. With a lot of patience, a lot of practice, we're going to introduce this into even smaller than this. Watch this. Again, with the vegetable knife, the bolster, remember, middle finger right in the bolster. Curvature, thumb on the blade. Find the balance. You need fine balance, like life. We're gonna slice this so thin, 1/16 of an inch. Can you believe it? And you can achieve that with a lot of technique, like so. Middle finger, as you can see, this particular cut, oops, this one wants to get away. We're going to cut that. As you can see, I'm using the tip of the knife, and it's extra small, and that one is called the brunoise. Brunoise. Large, medium, small, brunoise. Now, I'm not done yet. As you can see, I've only used a portion of the carrot. Here is where I introduce now the julienne. Can you say julienne? 1, 2, 3, ready? Julienne. That's good. Julienne basically is matchsticks, and it's used for garnish. You can put it on top of salads, and this is your julienne. And there we have it. Large, medium, small, brunoise, and julienne. 5 cuts with 1 portion of a carrot. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, but with celery this time. Celery is, well, look at the shape. The shape of this particular celery here is not circular, it's not square. I don't know what shape you call it. Half moon maybe? I don't know. But we're going to do the same thing and square it off. Awkward shape, square it off into the, you can see that it is actually squared vegetable because we're doing the same thing, like I said, large, medium, small, brunoise, and julienne. Ready? Let us begin. So we're going to square off the vegetable. We have a large, but it's too big, so therefore we need to kind of have the shape that we are comfortable in using. So I like this comfortable here, about 2 inches, 2.5 inches. But it's too big. I don't like it. We need to cut it in half. Now here is where the squaring off comes into play. It's not square or dice, it's square. So you can see that the dimensions, whatever is from left to right, it is from top to bottom. All right, so it is actually like a square, like so, right? So that becomes the large dice, large dice. Like we did before the other with the carrot, we're gonna cut that in half, move that to the side, and we're gonna do the same thing and square it off. There we go. Visually, we have large and medium. Same celery, we're gonna cut that in half. We're gonna square it off. There we go. And now we're gonna cut into small dice. That kind of broke apart there. Kind of broke apart. Luckily we have backup. You know, chef, always have a plan B. Yes? Here we go. This one looks a little bit better. Very good. Small dice. Small dice. Large, medium, small dice. But we have this little guy left over. Well, no problem. We're gonna cut that in very small strips. You might not be able to see it because it's so translucent. Again, 98% of water. So here we are. Middle finger, nice and calm, nice and small. And we are brunoise. We are doing brunoise of celery.
Give me a pause after this.
Here we go. Very, very fine. Large, medium, small, brunoise. And now we come to the crying vegetables. Oh, but I haven't cried in a long time. Oh, let's hope I don't do that today. We're introducing the onion. We're gonna be doing 2 cuts with this particular onion. A lot of people, they do a lot of weird things with the onion. So first of all, I've cut it in half. I'm just gonna demonstrate how normal people do it, and then when you have the actual skills that I will show you today, how it's nice and easy and no crying, no emotions involved. There shouldn't be any emotions, right? So a lot of people just go, okay, and that's it. That's I've seen. My mom used to do that. Come on, no, can't do that. So now, let me show you the proper way to dice an onion and julienne an onion. That's the root right here. That's the root. This is the top, like so, top, bottom. We're gonna cut off the top and bottom of the onion. We're gonna cut down the middle, half the onion. Put 1/2 to the side. We're gonna peel off the dead skin of the onion. Put in your hands here. Now we have a clean onion, right? Top to bottom. And you see here, we have segmentations, right? The different layers of the actual onion. You can see the lines here, right? So from top to bottom, that's where it is. So now what we're gonna do is, we are going to get your knife, palm down. Palm is down, and it's parallel to the cutting board. The knife is right in the middle between the cutting board and your hand. And you're gonna slice it as further back as possible. So it's still whole, see? You remove the knife, it's still whole. Then, with your knife, with the tip of your knife, you are going to follow the segmentations, the lines. You're gonna, from top to bottom. Again, 3 fingers, right? The knife is gonna be touching the first knuckle of the middle finger. And you're gonna go top to bottom, like so, nice and slow. All right, grabbing it. Be very careful. There we go. So theoretically, the onion is still intact. And now comes the magic part. Like so. See? Every piece of this onion, as you are slicing it, is now diced. See that? All nice and diced. And as you can see, I'm not crying. I am not crying because Well, one, you know me, I love to talk, so I've been talking. So the fumes are actually going into my mouth and not into my tear ducts inside my eyes. So now the second cut of the same vegetable, you're following the same segmentations, right? So you're gonna go from top to bottom. So again, 3 fingers, knife always touching the middle finger, the first knuckle. Top to bottom, like so, nice and slow. Like this, see that? There we go, nice and slow. And the cuts are always away, going from back and forward, away from the body, like this, right? So here, now we have, look at that. They're all falling apart. Now we have julienne. What could we use julienne for? Well, for example, we're going to be, in another segment, we're going to be using the julienne of onion to create one of my favorite soups, and that's the French onion soup. When you have actual lots of skill, this is how fast you can go. Done. See that? But nice and slow first, and then we can go nice and fast. But other than that, same effect, and we have dice and julienne of onion. I'm going to separate this, put all the onions in one spot. So as you can see, I have separated my vegetables with my carrot, my celery, and of course, my onion. The reason I've separated is because the vegetables are, well, they're different in texture. Carrots are hard, celery is semi, and my onions are really soft. So therefore, they cook at different temperatures. So when I want everything to cook at the same time, at the end product, that's when the importance of having the vegetables cooking at different temperatures are. Did you get that? Okay, I'll demonstrate in the next segment, which will be stocks. All right, guys, welcome back. Now, segment number 2 in regards to what we have to do, or what we can do with the Mirepoix. Can everybody remember what Mirepoix is? Anybody? Exactly. The carrots, the celery, and the onion. The Holy Trinity in the culinary world. But what can we do with them? Well, we're going to make a stock. First of all, stock is very basic. We're going to use some oil, some water, and the 3 vegetables, the onions, carrots, and celery. And that's it. Now, first of all, we're going to start off with 1 tablespoon of oil. Now, if you remember in class, we have to wait until the oil reaches a smoke point. I don't know if you can see this, but the oil already started to smoke, right? So now we introduce the carrot. The carrot is the one that we already diced, right? We diced that carrot, and what we're going to do is we are going to caramelize this carrot. Then after 4 minutes after that, we're going to introduce the celery, caramelize that. It's going to be about approximately 4 minutes. At the end, we're going to caramelize the onions. But all this should take about 12 minutes. So once everything's caramelized, we'll get back to making the stock. I just added the onions, and now we have the Mirepoix inside the pan, the saucepan. I've caramelized the carrots, waited about approximately 4 minutes. I've caramelized the celery, waited 4 minutes, and then I added the onions. Now, the reason that why we have to wait to the smoky point is so that's when the oil starts to break down. The oil, as you know, we taught in class, was the oil is used to lubricate the food, right? So have you ever noticed that sometimes you have your pan, you add your oil, and you put the ingredient on, and then the ingredient gets stuck? Well, it gets stuck because the oil is not hot enough. The oil has not reached the smoke point. When the fat starts to break down, then actually leaves the layer of lubricant. So when you put your ingredients, such as my Mirepoix there, everything slides and nothing gets stuck really to the bottom. Now, when you caramelize, as we know, that is when the sugars are extracted due to the heat of this particular element. And remember, this is an induction cooker, induction cooktop. So all the sugars are being extracted right now. Because of the heat, we have sweetness. Now there's things being stuck. I don't know if you can see this, but there's stuff being stuck at the bottom of my pan. That is actual flavor. It's nothing burnt, it's sugar. It's sugar, but you have to constantly stir. So I have put in there 1/4 cup of onions, 1/4 cup of celery, 1/4 cup of carrots, right? There we go. Always constantly stirring because you're doing this in medium to high heat. And that's why we have all this smoke. You don't want things to burn, so you're always incorporating air by stirring things. Yeah? Now, things are looking great. Look at that. Nice and brown. Huh? Nice and brown. When it's brown, we are ready. That means that my vegetables are now caramelized. Now we're going to introduce our liquid. In this case, 500 milliliters or ½ liter of water. You're going to hear the sizzle. Here is when I introduce the water to this. I'm going to introduce 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of water. What I'm doing here, I am deglazing. When you deglaze, that means all the particles at the bottom are now going to be extracted away from the bottom of the pan. Right? Extracting, very good. And now we're going to reduce. When you reduce, you're concentrating the flavors. We are going to now wait until this becomes au sec. A-U-S-E-C. And that is in French, and it means until dry. All the flavors are going to be concentrated. We got some oil. We got the carrots. We got the onions. We got the celery. And now the water is all embracing all those flavors. Oh, I can really smell the sweetness of all my vegetables. So now we're going to wait approximately 4 minutes until this has reduced to dry. Again, au sec. Okay? Once this comes back, once this is au sec, we'll come back and continue with the stock. All right, so I added 1/4 cup of water, and now my water has reduced to dryness. It evaporated, but in the culinary world, we don't say evaporation. We say au sec. So now that this is dry, you can hear the sizzle because there's no water anymore. So now I'm going to introduce the rest of the water into my stock. We are going to stir this around. My water was clear, just like water, but because of the caramelization, because of all the reduction that we did in au sec in the first part, now my water is absorbing all the flavor. We're going to wait until this comes to the boiling point. Once it comes to the boiling point, I'm going to reduce the heat to a medium to just a simmer. Another term, simmering, gently bubbles. Once it simmers for 10 minutes, our stock will be ready. I started off with 500 milliliters. You're going to see how it actually reduced to about half. So I'm going to have about 1 cup of stock, but it's going to be concentrated flavor. All right, so I have been simmering my stock for about 10 minutes now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it. I'm going to use my sieve, stainless steel mixing bowl, and strain my solids and liquids. There we go. Now, some people might think that you can use these vegetables, these solids here. But here's the thing, you can't. I mean, you can if you want to, but there's no nutritional value in it. All the nutritional value is inside my stock. Now, I started my stock, my water, my liquid, I started it with 500 milliliters of water. Now, reduced by half, right? Look at the color of that water. Look at that. Now that is pure concentration of flavor that I can use for my soup, a sauce. I can put that in rice instead of using regular water. So now my rice has more flavor. Now let's get back to this. Now this, some people actually use it. But what nutritional value does it have? None whatsoever. So what happens is this. You can eat this. You won't get sick or anything. But your body, you swallow it and your body's like, okay, well, where's the fiber? Where's the vitamin C? Where's the vitamins and minerals? And there isn't it. So literally it goes right through your system. So you can eat this in about 5 to 10 minutes. You'll be like, ooh, I gotta go. And do you know what I'm talking about? So that's why this we throw away. There's nothing good about it. And that's what we do. So now I have my stock and it's ready for whatever it is. I can freeze this into my freezer, obviously, and it will stay clear for, I don't know, about what, 12 months? So this is really good. And it's vegetarian. The majority of you are. So, but there's no salt, there's no seasoning, it's stock. It's the basis for soups, sauces, and just anything else that you want to do. Can you drink it? Of course you can, but not just yet, because it'll burn you. So let it cool down. All right, so that was the Mirepoix, the cuts, how we introduced all this. We introduced the au sec, we introduced everything else, and now the golden nectar of stock. All right, now write the recipe. All right, see you later.
Take a sip.
It's boiling. Okay.
Let's take a sip.
Okay.